Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Is you riding on a team? Got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love.
The following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well. It does not matter who the host is, that is for sure. I love it. I love it when we start off first thing early, and we're doing the things that we're doing. Anyways, how are you? Hopefully everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we are hanging out on this lovely morning, doing the things that we are doing around here. Anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse that is known as Safety FM. And we are also hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place on where we do things.
Radio.
Anyways, for you who might be new out there or hanging out for the first time, we are doing the things that we are doing this morning. And doing some stuff that is out of the ordinary, as we normally do around here. Anyway, so if you're new to the show, this is how it goes. It goes something like this. We have some professional broadcasters that come in, talk about what their jibber jabber is. I will actually come in and talk about what they talked about, and then we'll kind of tie it all in together as we do the mixture of things all in one place, because that's kind of how the show goes. Anyway, so let's start talking right away about what is trending. But before I get into that, if you want to get into the box here, let me explain because there's some confusion here. If you're on the social media aspect, it goes something like this. If you type into the box, it will show up, hopefully, unless you're on my personal webpage. If you're on my personal Facebook page, it's not going to come through. Just FYI. But if you're hanging out anywhere else, it should pop up. Fingers crossed. Or the easiest thing to do is you can go to our site, callinradio.com, and that will get you into the groove and the move of things. That will be the easiest way to get in and go about and all that kind of fun stuff. It will get you into our system. You can call in, you can text in, you can do whatever in that you want to do there, and that should be no problem whatsoever. So just keep that in mind as you are doing the things. But let me talk about what was actually trending yesterday. Benny 3 was holding his newborn sister Millie for the first time when something much more exciting caught his attention. Check out the adorable reaction on how he quickly tossed his babysitter. The video, which was originally shared back in February, has gone viral with over 2.8 million views. If that's something that you care about, I mean, take a look at it. I'm definitely not going to show it because I know how this goes. I show it, I get in trouble for showing somebody else's video because, that's just the shit show that happens around here. So let's get moving real quick on what the hell is going on, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. Feature story news happening right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
I guess the board doesn't love me today.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Germany's regional health ministers are meeting to discuss how the country will manage a fresh surge in COVID-19 cases. It comes as Europe's biggest economy posts a record high of new infections. From Berlin, Trent Murray reports.
Germany's previous daily high was recorded in April when 29,500 cases were recorded. But that record was smashed Thursday when authorities confirmed 34,000 new COVID-19 infections had been recorded in the past 24 hours. It's the highest daily total Germany has seen since the pandemic began. Much of the rise is being attributed to lower than expected vaccination rates. 67% of the total population have received both of their shots. It's a number the health minister wants to see grow, as he says Germany is now experiencing what he describes as a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Trent Murray, Berlin.
More than 40 countries have committed to moving away from coal power at the COP26 climate summit. However, major coal users like Australia, China and the US have not signed up to ending all investment in new coal power generation at home and abroad. UK opposition parties are accusing the government of corruption after it blocked the suspension of a Conservative MP. Owen Paterson had been facing a 30-day ban over repeated breaches of lobbying rules. Conservative MPs were told to vote instead for an overhaul of the disciplinary system, which opposition lawmakers say is a stitch-up. Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng thinks it was the right move.
People have a right to appeal. Whatever the employee is accused of, they do have a right of appeal. And what we're trying to do, what the vote tried to do yesterday, was to actually bring that back, bring a right of appeal into the House of Commons process, and that was what it was about.
Hong Kong will begin administering COVID-19 booster shots next week to high-risk groups. The move comes as a third of the city's population is still yet to be inoculated against the virus, despite a free mass vaccination program having been in operation for almost 9 months. FSN's Richard Kimber reports from Hong Kong.
Bookings will open on Friday for the booster jabs, which will start being rolled out on November 11th. People with weakened immune systems, such as AIDS and cancer sufferers, and anyone aged over 60 will be first in line. Medical, airport and hotel staff will also be prioritised. The government is recommending people to choose the Pfizer-BioNTech jab for their booster, although China's Sinovac vaccine is still being offered, despite health experts saying it offers less protection. The overall take-up of vaccines in Hong Kong has been slow. A mass vaccination drive began in February, but only 2/3 of the city are fully vaccinated. Analysts say the low level of COVID-19 in Hong Kong and a lack of trust in government are to blame. Richard Kimber in Hong Kong.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at the COVID-19 situation in China. The country is facing its worst outbreak since the pandemic began in Wuhan around 2 years ago. The Delta variant has now been identified in more than half the country's provinces, and that's despite a zero-tolerance approach to COVID, which has essentially cut the country off from the outside world. Even tighter curbs are being introduced in Beijing, which is due to serve as the scene for a meeting of the highest-ranking Chinese Communist Party officials. It's due to take place next week. FSN's Patrick Falk is our Beijing bureau chief.
It has picked up really quite quickly over the last couple of weeks, and it's also spread to 19 of China's 31 provinces. And of course, as you can imagine, with the Beijing Olympics around the corner, authorities are particularly concerned about that and doing everything they can to try and stamp out this latest outbreak. And, you know, you can certainly feel it here in the capital with security guards making sure that they're taking down your temperature and also making sure that you've got your QR health code and making sure people are wearing face masks as well. That's been noticeably more serious in recent days.
It's unclear how China thinks it can reopen to the outside world while the country's fears of a mass COVID outbreak remain. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Germany's regional health ministers are meeting to discuss how the country will manage a fresh surge in COVID-19 cases. More than 40 countries have committed to moving away from coal power at the COP26 summit. UK opposition parties are accusing the government of corruption after it blocked the suspension of a Conservative MP. And Hong Kong will begin administering COVID booster shots next week to high-risk groups. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this. You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, there you go. A lot of stuff as they are talking on Future Story News. 14 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Can you believe it already? We're almost done with this weeko as we are already talking and moving and grooving and all of that fun stuff as we are doing it. Anyways, broadcasting live once again from Safety FM, Radio Big, all that kind of fun stuff as we hang out on this lovely morning. So let's get it moving, because here's where I get all hung up and ooey gooey and all that kind of fun stuff, is that I never know what you want to talk about first thing. So as we've always said, you can pop into the box if you're interested in doing so. Also, callinradio.com. All you have to do, one little click through, get you there. Call in radio means exactly that. You can call in, video chat, voice chat, whatever. Just imagine like a version of WhatsApp, because I think that's the easiest way. And then if you're kind of counter Facebook, I don't know what to tell you. I really just don't. That one's gonna be a hard sell on regards of what we can do there. So can't assist you mucho with that one. So anyways, here we go. Florida authorities believe that Brian Lange likely took his own life before the nationwide manhunt even was underway. Previously reported Brian's remains were found in October 20th, just off the trail of Florida, in a Florida park. A notebook and a backpack belonging to him were found nearby. The FBI positively identified the bones found, but a true cause of death has not been established. So I'm kind of confused here. So he took his life, and then wasn't there like some rumor circulating about some things that were related to potentially alligators, or was that just kind of the ooey gooey stuff that people just kind of make up? Because, urban legend sounds so much better than anything else that happens. I mean, let's just be realistic when it comes to certain things. Anyways, a stinky flower drew huge crowds to a botanical garden in Southern California. The summertran flower, nicknamed a corpse plant, yeah, because that's what you want to be named after, because it smells like a dead body, bloomed on Sunday afternoon at the San Diego Botanical Gardens in Encinitas. By Monday morning, tickets to view the plant had sold out, according to San Diego Union Tribune. More than 5,000 people visited the garden by Tuesday evening, as the plant only blooms for 48 hours. So hold on. You want to take a look at a flower and sniff it because it smells like a dead body? I mean, I'm sure that there's way cheaper versions of being able to just smell a dead body and put a flower next to it. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so take a listen to this, because this one's kind of interesting. Over 33,000 guests were locked inside Shanghai Disneyland during COVID-19 scare last week. According to NPR, a guest who visited the park on Saturday tested positive for the virus, causing the whole park to shut down and guests to stay put. A mass COVID testing site was erected, and all park goers were swabbed, and all 33,868 guests were tested negative. The park was shut down Sunday through Wednesday, and all employees were required to have 2 negative tests before returning to work. So hold on, I want to have an understanding of this. So let's kind of go through the thing here. So I'm at Disneyland in Shanghai, and all of a sudden there's a park closure because of the COVID scare that's taking place. Does this mean the rides close down? Because I just want to know. If I'm going to be stuck at Disneyland, I really don't want to be just kind of hanging out and hanging with Mickey. I mean, I'm just saying, because what's the gig there? I mean, what are you supposed to do? And then there's 33,867 other people with me doing the things that we're doing. So I don't know if that's the greatest approach there. Could you imagine? I mean, who knows what it costs to go to Shanghai Disney? But if it's similar to what it is in Orlando. We're talking, what is it, $164 a day? It was the last findings that we had around here. So $164, and then all of a sudden you're in lockdown inside of Disney. I mean, that park has to stay open. If not, you're having all kinds of problemos there.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
So listen to this one. A New York woman was shot in the eye while looking through her peephole. According to the NYPD, a 37-year-old woman heard a knock on the door on Monday evening and then was shot in the eye as she looked through to see who it was. The woman was transported to a hospital and is now in stable condition. No arrests have been made. So hold on. I mean, what kind of caliber gun are we talking here on somebody getting shoot through a peephole? And how did that happen? I mean, I know how it happened because I just described it to you. But, I mean, let's take a listen here. All of a sudden, we turn around and kaplam because you look through the peephole. I mean, it's getting a little sticky icky out there as we are talking. I mean, just think about that. The body of a 98-year-old man who died of COVID-19 in front of an audience in Oregon without consent from his family. What? It was dissected. Why was it dissected in front of an audience? I mean, what the hell? David Saunders' loved ones, including his widow, learned of the public autopsy when it was reported by a local news outlet. Attendees reportedly paid $500 a head to attend a morbid presentation. Mike Clark, a funeral director in Louisiana, said that Saunders' family was under the impression that his body would be used for private medical research, not an act of a traveling freak show. So here's my question. So there was a dead body there. They dissected it in front of a group that people paid $500. Do you think they had flowers in the audience as well for people, I mean, kind of similar to the San Diego thing? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking the question, of course.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, here we go. Prosecutors in the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial played video games for the jury that captured the repeated sound of gunshots in the streets during last year's protest in Wisconsin. The eyewitness said that he remembers seeing Rittenhouse in the streets and thinking that he looked a little young to be out there, but didn't think anything malicious. Shortly after, Rittenhouse is seen in the clip with a gunshot. A gunshot is heard in the background. The defense said that it was a moment that the defendant thought that he was under attack. So there you go. Why? Okay, I think somebody totally screwed up, and because I am the reader here, maybe they played a video, because it sure as shit doesn't sound like they played a video game, because that sounds like something else that they were doing. Maybe it was a video and not a video game, but thank you for the note, because that was cute. So I don't know, something to think about as we are moving and grooving this morning and going through some of this stuff. It's always interesting to me on how we go through and talk about what is going on with some of the case studies. And we'll talk about the court cases. And I say case studies in this fact because I have case studies on the mind after last week. But some of the court cases that are going on. Because here's what we forget. And I mean, I know that there's always going to be the court of public opinion, but it's innocent until proven guilty. Right? I mean, so that's going to be the other side. And I'm not justifying anything. I'm just saying. That's why we're here, to have the convo in the morning and go through it. Anyways, a new record number of leatherback turtle nests were found along the South Florida beaches this year. The 79 nests found by biologists is nearly double the previous record of 46, which was set back in 2012. The South Florida Sun Sentinel reported the endangered turtles typically crawl onto beaches at night and dig holes to deposit their eggs in the sand. They are among the largest sea turtles. So there you go. A lot of stuff there as we are talking on this lovely morning about all the stuff going on. I mean, I don't know. Are sea turtles that engaging to you that you feel that it's worth talking about? I don't know. There's something to think about. Anyways, let's get Johnny Smalls in here real quick. Let him tell you about what the hell's going on inside of the market, because I think it's that time.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, November 4th, 2021. Equities were cautious Wednesday ahead of the FOMC announcement and press conference, but quickly found solid footing in the wake of the release. The FOMC decided to begin the taper with an incremental $15 billion reduction per month until the middle of next year. Fed Chief Jerome Powell says the trajectory of the taper is not set in stone and could be adjusted at any time. Investors should take that to mean tapering may accelerate over the next few months, along with the inflation data. Inflation is still rising unchecked, and there's little sign within the economy those pressures are subsiding. Even when they do, there's no guarantee retailers and merchants will lower their prices to match. The next big hurdle for the week is the NFP report on Friday. If the NFP report is in line with the ADP report, jobs should come in the range of 550,000 to 600,000. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one and keeping us in the current of what exactly is going on. Anyways, investors pushed back to the markets higher on Wednesday as the Dow rose 104 points, the Nasdaq gained 161 points, and the S&P added 29 points. All three indices close at a new record high. The Federal Reserve announced specifics regarding the tapering, as you just heard John say, of bond purchases by the central bank. Traders seemed to respond positively to the structure put forth, in which purchases will decrease by $15 billion per month until they are completely phased out by next summer. Avis Budget Group fell about 17% during the Wednesday session after doubling the day prior. Earlier this week, the company reported profits beating expectations as well as plans to add electric vehicles. So hold on. I had heard that Avis was doing, I had heard that Hertz was doing something along these lines. I was not aware that it also fell under the category of Avis, or maybe Avis and Hertz are the same thing. But I just heard that Hertz had recently done a pretty large investment in buying some stuff directly from Tesla, some Tesla cars and some Tesla infrastructure for rental purposes. So it'll be interesting to see on how that actually goes and comes and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyways, the Boston Marathon will return to a full field on 30,000 runners at next year's race. The Boston Athletic Association announced this week that runners will need to show proof of vaccination in order to pick up a bib number before the race on April the 18th of 2022. Runners in the last month postponed the race were also required to show proof of vaccination or a pass COVID-19 test before they were able to compete. So I don't know. I don't know. I keep on looking at this, and I keep on wondering what is that going to look like in regards of this, because I know we have briefly spoke about vaccine passports. I know that we have recently spoke about on how some of those things should look. But it's not always perfecto. So I don't know. If you had to get a vaccine to be able to be part of it, would you do it? I'm just asking. I'm just asking the question because that's something that we need to know. We need to have a better understanding of, for sure. So I don't know. Are you that big into running, and is that something that would intrigue you or something that you would want to do? I don't know. I don't know. So that's always the fun part there. Maybe you'll be able to tell me what you want to do. Because here's the gig. Wow, I love the camera this morning. What the hell's going on with it? I think it's possessed. So there you go. Some fun stuff over there, or they're kind of messing with me over there in the other room. But that's a whole other question. Anyways, let's continue talking. A California zipline course employee sacrificed his life to save another. Joaquin Romero, 34, fell at least 70 feet after trying to help a woman who started to slide out of the line. As the two drifted further down the line, Romero decided to let go of fear that their combined weight would cause the zip line to fall. The woman was injured. Romero suffered several blunt force injuries and then passed away 2 days later. The zip line course has been temporarily closed since the incident. So let's take, the guy sacrificed their life. The person sacrificed their life to be able to save another. That's hardcore there. You're going in full force in regards of doing the gig, doing what you're doing. I get it. I get it. But man, scary stuff. I mean, I like zip lines, I think, as much as the next person, but that is just some scary things there. Somebody took a leap of faith to be able to help somebody else out. Hey, I mean, good and more power to them. But wow, incredible. I mean, and then the level of guilt now that the person being saved must feel. I mean, let's just be realistic. I mean, let's not lie about the gig of what the person's going to probably be like. Oh my God, can I live with myself now because of this? I'm just saying. I mean, don't hold it against me in regards of what I'm saying, but think about it. It's just one of those things that you wouldn't expect. You're just wanting to do the typical zip line. You're wanting to go out there and do what you think is going to be some fun times, and all of a sudden something entirely different ends up occurring. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour. I think it's time for us to do the things that we do around here. Let's get into the main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show. Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Today is not a good button day for me, it seems like. Today is not a good button day, is what it sounds like. So anyway, let's get moving and grooving and talking about all the things that we do around here, all the stuff that we always want to focus on, and all the things that we want to talk about, and always go around and about and say, oh, that's so important to talk about X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't know if it's always important to talk about it, but it is time to talk about it right now. So if you came in this morning and you saw the title, depending if you were on the redes sociales, you saw that we titled it, Que Sera Sera. Whatever will be, will be. Just really what it boils down to. And as we hang out in this world of social media and social justice is really what it sounds like, and a lot of strange things that take about, I am still so confused, kind of continuing on where we left off yesterday, about other people telling others how to run companies, on how other people tell us to do what we need to do. And it's amazing to me on just hearing the things that are said online or reading them, is really what it boils down to is, if you don't change this, I am going to unfollow you. If you don't do this, I am going to do that. And it's like the tit for tat stuff that gets really old really quick. And I look around and I go, if you start thinking about this and you start taking a gander into it, is it really worth all the stuff that people talk about? It's like, we can't be friends because you're a Democrat. We can't be friends because you're a Republican. We can't be friends because you're a liberal. I mean, I did not know that when I actually started off doing a lot of stuff here, that I had some kind of label on me that made it justifiable for us to hang out. I didn't realize that if you don't like my post on social media, we can no longer be friends. Like, I was talking to someone a few days ago, and they were telling me that they didn't believe in getting that. Let me rephrase that. That they didn't believe in getting vaccinated, and that they were concerned because they did not want the vaccine proteins to get into their system because they were about to get a massage for somebody who was vaccinated. Yeah, I mean, I want you to think about what I just said. Now, are we really to that point? Are we really to that point that scarcity is really that to that point that people think that that's a reality of something that can actually occur? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking the question because I always find these things interesting. I always find on how the mindset works. I remember when I was younger, it was always discussed that never talk about religion and never talk about taxes. Don't talk about taxes, don't talk about religion, and don't talk about politics is really what it boiled down to. And I look at it now and I kind of laugh. I laugh at the whole thing that now it's gotten to the point that it's like, don't talk about taxes, don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics, and definitely don't talk about vaccines. It's really what it boils down to. And we take a look right now with some of the changes that are going on inside of the world and some of the mandates that are going into place, especially in workplaces. And it becomes interesting because we have to sit back as the group of safety pros that we are here, and we talk and we move and we groove and we do all the things that we do. But at what point do you call it? At what point do you go ahead and you sit there and go, am I going to put my money where my mouth is? Because that's the thing. There's a lot of things that are changing inside of our work environments that we have to determine what we want to do. Do you stand by and believe that the vaccine should be mandated? Do you stand by and say it should be mandated? I mean, yesterday we were having a news story that we were talking about 23,000 people had to be vaccinated by Monday. If not, they were at the potential of losing their jobs. There's a lot of stuff to still think about here in regards of it. And if you take political affiliation out of the whole thing, and if you take everything out of what you're thinking in regards of politics, what do you think is in the best interest for you? That's the thing. I mean, we can tie it in so many different ways. We can tie it in such a factor that it's easy to take a look at and go, okay, we're going to do a political incline. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's too many questions out there. But the que sera, sera is really based on whatever will be, will be. You need to determine what's best for you and your organization and your little group to determine what's going to happen next. But anyways, what do I know? I'm just a guy behind a microphone.
Radio.
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We all want to make sure that our family is protected in medical emergencies. What many of us don't realize is that health insurance won't always cover the full amount of an emergency medical flight. Even with comprehensive coverage, you could get hit with high deductibles and copays. That's why an Air Medcare Network membership is so important. As a member, if an emergency arises, you won't see a bill for air medical transport when flown by an AMCN provider. Best of all, a membership covers your entire household for as little as $85 a year. AMCN providers are called upon to transport nearly 100,000 patients a year. This is coverage no family should go without. Now, as a Jay Allen Show listener, you'll get up to a $50 e-gift card with a new membership. Simply visit airmedcarenetwork.com/safety and use the offer code SAFETY. And don't forget to tell them that Jay
From
Allen
Feature
sent you.
Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett.
Body turn your nigga to a failure. I made it where I'm at on my own. Had a couple blocks in the road, but I get to the bag on the low. I be counting stacks while they grow. Yeah, you know me, baby. Won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I come in town, you should slide on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love.
Okay, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. That's All Love by King Sis. The song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. So there you go, there you go, there you go. King Sis, all love, all love. Thank you for letting us play that one this morning on this little show right here as we have it going on. Anyways, 42 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely, because that's what it seems like we're doing for sure. So let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of this lovely world of ours. And let's get you into some mix of some other things because that's why we're here. Talking about everything that's going on. So hands-free or is it free? So robot food delivery is officially a thing, although that you may not see it in the neighborhood anytime soon. Hundreds of knee-high robots are able to hold around 4 large pizzas, are now navigating college campuses and even in some city sidewalks in the U.S., the UK, and elsewhere. While robots are being tested before COVID-19, the company's building to say the pandemic-related labor shortages and a growing preference of contactless deliveries have been accelerated things as we move them forward. Starship Technologies, with more than 1,000 bots in its fleet, just completed its 2 millionth delivery. Starship is delivering food on 20 campuses and 25 more to be added shortly. They're operating on the sidewalks of England, California, and company's hometown of Tallinn, Estonia. Robots designed, some have 4 wheels and others have 6. Generally, they use cameras, sensors, GPS, and sometimes laser scanners to navigate sidewalks and even cross streets, moving at about 5 miles per hour. Starship charges $1.99 plus a service fee for each robot service. Still cheaper than DoorDash, and you don't have to tip, so I guess that's one way to look at it. And I, for one, welcome new robots overlord to deliver much of my lunch. So yes, no problem there. And I heard that there aren't enough delivery drivers. Perhaps this is why it has the domino effect. So I don't know. Have you had a robot delivery? Seriously, as we speak right now, have you had a robot delivery yet? Or still not something that has occurred in your neck of the woods? I mean, I'm just asking the question. Okay, so studies say that dog owners that that adorable head tilt things to do about the cutest thing imaginable. And researchers from Ivotes Lorand University say that they discovered the importance and reasons behind this endearing motion. They determined that the classic head tilt is still a sign that the dog is both smart and understands what you're saying. The team examined how intelligent some dogs are, and though their ability to learn the names of various toys, they found that dogs present, a different type of skill when they hear the name they understand, such as tail wagging, sniffing sniffing with their nostrils. What else the hell would they sniff with? Or motion with one of the objects of what they've been having. So they grab the object, they go ahead and they move it around. I mean, I don't know. What a great story, right? I mean, what the hell? Anyways, the stereotype that women are more reactionary and prone to emotional outbursts than men is a myth, according to researchers at the University of Michigan. They tracked about 142 men and women over the last 75-day period, recording each person's daily emotions, and found that there's little to no emotional differences between a male and a female participants. Study authors say that it indicates that the average man's emotion change and fluctuate just as much as the average woman. And the difference is that they all come down to how people interpret emotions of women and men in display. When men becomes emotional while watching sports, others usually see it as passionate. But if a woman becomes emotional for a number of reasons, the team says that people consider her irrational or hysterical. And if a woman becomes emotional while watching sports, well, you should marry her. Maybe that's something to think about. Married couples who met on dating apps have a higher chance of getting a divorce, according to a new research. The study concluded that 12% of couples who found their significant others online got divorced within the first 3 years of marriage, compared to only 2% of lovers who met through friends. The UK-based polling company Savanta Commerce polled about 2,000 adults that were at least 30 years old and married at least once. They also noted that the likelihood of a split goes up as the years go by. After 7 years of marriage, 17% of couples who met through the app were divorced, compared to 10% of those who met through pals. Of course, if you lay the part out of blame on the fact that these people probably also met other people on the app, I mean, that's something to think about. I mean, this is a different thing. I mean, is Ashley Madison really the way to go? I'm just asking the question, of course.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so there you go. There's that for you. So the Associated Press named Democrat Phil Murphy as the winner of Tuesday's night's gubernatorial election. It will be a few days before the final tally, as the clerks will continue to collect mail-in ballots through Monday. Republican Jack came unexpectedly close to beating Murphy, so there you go. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is shrugging off her party's dramatic loss in Virginia. She told reporters Wednesday, "We had great wins, nothing but a handful of congressional seats that Democrats protected." What else? The wheeling and dealing continues as the House to figure out just what can make it into the multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure spending bonanza. Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that Wednesday that paid family and medical leave will be back on the bill. It remains to be seen whether those provisions will make it through the Senate, and Pelosi has repeatedly said that only is going to pass the bill if she knows that she can get through the upper house. So there you go. This is 2 days in the swamp. Just wanted to bring that up real quick. Okay, so no winner for Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing. Friday's drawing will be for $36 million jackpot or a $25.5 million cash payout. So if you want to play, you still got a chance to do so. Some fun stuff there for sure. Anyways, at the top of the hour here, I will be going over to our friends at RadioBig.fm, hanging out the whole time. So if you want to come over, take a listen to some musica, we can come and do some of those things together, and we'll get that moving and grooving. Anyways, let's get John Smalls back in here for some motivation, because I think we need some of that at this particular moment.
Courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote has been submitted by Terry. Pat Summit said, "Attitude is a choice. Think positive thoughts daily. Believe in yourself." Very true. Have you ever met an Eeyore, like the character from Winnie the Pooh? I love them, and they're all around us, but I seriously just watched this happen. I was next to a guy who won some money. It was over $1,000. Everyone else in the room was super excited for him. And at first, he was smiling, but then he looked directly to me and said, "Great, now I have to pay taxes on that." I said, "Hey, I'll gladly pay the taxes if you want to give that to me." Then he quickly realized he was kind of being silly. Be thankful for what you have, and remember to set your mind to be positive every day. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for quotes too, but insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute today is brought to you by AlessaMorgan.com. Have you ever wondered why it can be so difficult to exercise willpower when it comes to eating habits and especially emotional eating? Initially, it was believed that when our brain receives information, it goes directly to the frontal cortex that is responsible for logic and reason, where discipline would reside. This was found to be incorrect. The information first gets processed through the fight or flight center in the back of the brain. And if this information resembles a stressful, traumatic, or painful situation you previously experienced, your brain will immediately go into stress response. And trying to activate the part of the brain that is responsible for discipline after the brain already activated the part that is responsible for survival is exactly what makes the use of willpower difficult. This minute was brought to you by Wellness Reset, where we always encourage you to find real ways to reset your wellness. For more information, please visit AlessaMorgan.com.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Really, that's what we're going with. Still the self-implosion thing. Anyways, 51 minutes past the top of the hour. Let me tell you about my friends real quick at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local communities whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you'll need to do is go to afsp.org. That's afsp.org, or call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can text the word TALK to 741-741. There you go. You never know when you might need it or know of someone who might need it as well. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some reasons not reasons to celebrate yet, because that's a little bit ahead. But let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Let's see. How far back do we want to go? How far back? Let's talk about this. Back on this date in 2008, should we talk about it? Yeah, 2008, Barack Obama becomes the first African-American man elected to the nation's highest office. In his landslide mandate victory, he won a staggering, overwhelming 52.9% of the vote. He did, however, bag 365 electoral college votes to challenge John McCain's 173. That was back on this date in 2008. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. So let's talk about this real quick. Let's see. Des Bryant turns 33. Stephen Ogg turns 48. Diddy, a.k.a. Sean Combs, turns 52. Matthew McConaughey turns 52. Ralph Macchio turns 60. Kathy Griffin turns 61. Tony Abbott turns 64. Laura Bush turns 75. And Laura Swit from MASH fame, yeah, she turns 84 today, just in case. If you're looking for some reasons to celebrate, I have some of those for you real quick. National Chicken Lady Day. National Candy Day. National Cash Back Day. National Men Make Dinner Day. Must cook. No barbecue allowed, by the way. King Tut Day. check your blood pressure day, and use your common sense day. I almost feel like I use my common sense every day, and that's what seems to get me into some problems around here. But that's the way that it goes. Anyways, 54 minutes past the top of the hour. Did you know that issues with toilets on board SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule will leave the group 4 astronauts without a bathroom option during their hour-long trip home from the International Space Station aboard the 13-foot wide capsule this month? Instead of the crew will have to rely on undergarments, according to NASA's Commercial Crew Program Manager. So there you go. So think about that. If you have any kind of waste management issues, you'll have to do that with your undergarments on your way back. Yeah, you did hear me say that correctly. So I want you to think about that. I guess it all depends on what's going on up there for sure.
Duh.
Okay, so let's continue talking about some other things. Let's talk about some whack facts real quick. If you start with 1 penny and doubled your money every day, it would take you 27 days to become a millionaire. When you were looking at someone you love, your pupils dilate. When you're looking at someone you hate, it does the same. Oh, isn't that fun? The average person's skin weighs twice as much as their brain. Black sheep got the bad rap because their wool is harder to dye than the ones of the white sheep. Well, I mean, go figure that. In an average NFL football game, there are only about 12 minutes of actual play time. Think about that real quick, especially when you're enjoying that on your weekend, taking a look. Saudi Arabia imports camels and sand from Australia. I mean, I bet you didn't know that one. That's some whack facts, I guess. Or we could, yeah, it's definitely some whack facts because I'm sure that a lot of people did not know that. Anyways, let's talk about some scoops of BS before we get you out of here. Researchers have found that with enough training, anyone can become a good singer. I'm not sure how they came up to that conclusion, but I promise you that it was not from watching the audition rounds of American Idol, because that's for sure, or hanging out in my shower. Anti-anxiety drugs have been linked to higher death rates. Damn, now what do I take for all the anxiety that this causes me? A study says that having tattoos increases your chance of getting a job at a strip club, because there's just no other way that I could believe anything like that. Okay, I'm just joking as I say that. A fact, 75% of world's diet is produced by just 12 plants and 5 animal species. What? The other 25% is produced by McDonald's. So there you go. And then almost 100 million photos are uploaded to Instagram every day. Think about that when you start putting some sequences into it.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so here we go. Let's do these real quick. If you need a random joke for today, try this. While getting gas this morning, I noticed that the person before me on pump 3 had enough, had bought about $10 worth of gas. Where the heck was he going, to pump 6? I mean, there's just no other way around that one. What is something that you love doing every single day? Anything come to mind? Okay. I mean, let's keep it clean here. Let's keep it clean. No, seriously. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, if you need something for the water cooler, try this. Question. Women say that the best place to hide snacks from their spouse and kids are in their car, but 9% have hidden them here. Where is that? In their bed. Where exactly in your bed would you hide a snack? I mean, I don't know. And that almost seems like it could arrange a whole sequence of another set of questions that I could come up with if you really start thinking about it.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show exclusively on Safety FM and RadioBig.fm. If you want to come out and hang out on RadioBig.com. Oh, why do I want to continue to call it .com? Radio Big, you're more than welcome on doing so. I will do that at the very top of the hour, so you can come over here and hang out with us as we play some music and listen to some stuff that we do. Outside of that, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. Without you, we can't do what we do around here. That is for sure. If I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Appear as you are and be as you appear. Be as you are, or appear as you are, and be as you appear. Think about that. Something to Something to think about for the rest of the day. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am.
Duh.
Love ya, mean it, and goodbye. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Feel like falling deeper. Cold nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어. 줬던 내 사랑이 식어. 기대만 하는 것도 난 힘들어. No, I can't, just can't. 가져 내 맘을, 놔줘 내 가슴을 다 바쳐 사랑하기엔 내 자신이 너무 걱정돼.